to another Bronco video. It's been a while to all my Bronco followers out there, but last Bronco video, of course, we went in to order my Bronco, and I made a couple last second changes. It's obviously kind of tough to make Bronco content without seeing an actual Bronco, but I figured I could make this video kind of explaining why I decided to make those changes at the last second, and maybe it'll be of some use to some people, and maybe it won't be. But hey, if it helps one person, then I guess it's worth it, right? That's a good tell method. But before we get into that, look right here, finally got my hood fixed on my car. No more raggedy carbon fiber hood. Decided to paint it black, and I think it gives it a pretty clean look if you ask me. So here's a quick edit of that.
Yeah, let's go. I ain't the first with the curse, with the thirst that I wanna be better, not worse, man, it hurts. I'm on this earth with my words, and I put them all together, insert, cause I wanna have worth. Working hella hard till they put me in the dirt. Gonna go far, man, listen to my words. Gonna be a star, man, life's like a blur. When you're working this hard till you get what you deserve. Yeah, I ain't taking a backseat, I'm passing anybody else who is rapping. I'm nasty, ain't nobody able to catch me. They gasping, they cannot compare, they can't match me. I'm at half speed, I got your girl and she laughing and dancing, hanging on my butt, she asking to crash with me, smash with me, she savage, she wants cash money, and she knows that I live lavishly. I wanna live, I'm cold inside, give all I have just to feel alive. I fight to live, I fight to strive, one day I want the whole world.
Alright, hope you enjoyed that. Vet is looking clean once again. So I've had this car for about 5 years now, and it's been my only car, daily driver. Obviously, with the Corvette, you have 2 seats, driver and passenger. Originally, my dad said that was a good thing, because that means you only have one girl to distract you. Thanks, Dad, for looking out for my safety. So obviously, this video is about why I changed from a 2-door to a 4-door, and there are a few reasons for that. Of course, the first reason is just having more space. Like I said, I've had this car for a while now, and it would be nice to actually have something that I could haul people with more than just one person. So now you may be thinking, well, there's only a 16-inch difference between the 4-door Bronco and the 2-door Bronco in length. And I believe most of, if not all of that, is in between the wheelbase. That means you can take 2 perspectives. It's only 16 inches longer, or it gives you 16 inches more room, obviously. 16 inches overall length, I don't really think it affects the proportions or the looks negatively. I guess that's a personal thing. But again, while we're talking about the subtle differences between the proportions, if you want to look at it like that, the weight. As you can see here, there's only about 200 pounds, 300 pounds if you're generous. So weight isn't really a huge argument in terms of 2-door versus 4-door. So again, I figured not gaining much weight, and with the 2.7, it's still gonna pull along pretty well. And while we're comparing the specs of the 2-door and the 4-door, I figured I'd mention fuel capacity. For the 4-door, you get 20.8 gallons, versus the 2-door, you get 16.9. So that's almost 4 more gallons more. If the specs are true about the weight, only 200 to 300 pounds, I wouldn't expect the fuel mileage of the 4-door to suffer that much. So you should be able to get a better range with the 4-door also, which is great because I plan on taking the Bronco on some longer trips to different places to go off-roading, to the dunes, rock crawling, of course, all that good stuff. So the extra fuel capacity is just going to be that much better. So according to the specs, only about a 200 to 300 pound difference between the 2-door and 4-door, and then 16 inches in wheelbase. But now, let's take a look at it from the other perspective. 16 inches is a lot, especially when it's in between the wheelbase, because that means you get the extra set of doors for your passengers to climb in and out of the back. And well, with the 2-door Bronco, it just seems like it'd be a little bit tougher to get in and out of there for older folk or a long day on the trails. As you can see here, I'm used to this much cargo room, so I guess even the 2-door would be a big step up, but the 4-door will just give me that much more for days when I want to take my dirt bike out to the trails, or I'm out on the trails with the Bronco itself, whether that be coolers, jack, any other tools I need for the trails. We're gonna have all that extra room with the 4-door. All right, enough talking about size here, because the longer we do that, the dirtier the comments are gonna get. So practicality is kind of a no-brainer with the four-door. That's what most people say as to why they're getting the four-door. I want the Bronco and the fun of the Bronco, but I also need the practicality of basically an SUV. So that's all fine and dandy, but there are a couple of things with the four-door in terms of performance that will suit me better, and I'll explain those to you here right now. So again, using my car as a reference here, it's funny that we're comparing a Corvette to a Bronco, but we're using this as an example. So Corvette, obviously short wheelbase car. That means we get a quick turn in. It's a good handling car, it's agile. So with a shorter wheelbase, you'll get that, but with a longer wheelbase, like I said, I have a couple of dirt bikes that I like to haul around. Hey, look at that thing. That bike is sick. Now, in order to haul those bikes, I'm either gonna have a 2-bike trailer, a small one, or I'm gonna have a hitch carrier for the back. Now, either way, with that extra wheelbase and a little bit more weight of the Bronco, I figured that is gonna help a lot in terms of towing and putting some tongue weight on that trailer hitch. I've heard the tales about 2-door Jeeps going down the highway. Feels like you're holding on for dear life. With the 4-door Bronco, definitely seems like it'll be a lot more stable. Like I said, with towing, longer wheelbase, better at keeping the Bronco from doing this while you're going down the road with that trailer on the back. Wow, would you look at that? Isn't that a sight to see? This might be my new favorite place to film a video. Anywho, so now you might be thinking, well Jeff, I didn't buy a Bronco to tow stuff with. Well, that is also fine. And that brings me to my next point of the 4-door. Here with the trails in Oregon, Tillamook Forest, we have some trails and some obstacles where you might want to put the front wheels over that obstacle first, which will allow you to have the front wheels pulling you instead of being on the face of the obstacle itself. So if you have a hill like this, 2-door, your wheels might be here. 4-door, your front wheels might be my thumb over here, and rear wheels will be here. So the front wheels will help pull you over that obstacle. So okay, you don't care about cargo space, you don't care about your passengers, you don't care about towing stability, and you don't care about putting the front wheels over obstacles. You'd rather have the shorter wheelbase to make it through the tighter trails. Well, there's one last thing here why I chose the 4-door over the 2-door. So let's go ahead and hop in the car and I'll show you that real quick. Man, that sounds crispy. So ignore the tire pressure warning there, but the last reason I wanted a 4-door over a 2-door is high speed stability. So I've shown this clip a lot of the 2-door Bronco. It's going over some whoops. As you can see, it's kind of bouncing around a lot. So I not only want to use the Bronco on the trails here, but we have a nice assortment of dunes here on the West Coast, and I definitely want to use the Bronco in the sand. And in terms of high-speed stability, going over whoops, hitting bumps at the dunes and whatnot, I just felt like the 4-door would be an overall better fit for me. Of course, suspension has a lot to do with that. You saw the footage at King of the Hammers with Vaughn Gittin Jr. doing the qualifying course in the 2-door Bronco. But I guess for me, the 4-door just strikes a good balance between wheelbase and stability on and off road. So in terms of performance, that is the last reason that I chose a 4-door over a 2-door. Now this next option really didn't influence my decision too much. It probably won't influence other people's decision too much either, maybe a few. And in the long run, it's probably not gonna affect many at all in terms of deciding between a 2-door and a 4-door Bronco. So finally, that reason is the 2-door is on the list of high demand items. So it's not necessarily late availability, but if you have a later build date, it might cause some delays in your build. So the 2-door, like I said, along with the luxury package, the Sasquatch package, of course the Wild Track, because the Wild Track has the Sasquatch package, and hardtops are high demand items. And let's just say someone has a priority order or is further up ahead in line, they'll get those options. But if you're later in the queue and those options aren't available. They run out of stock or whatever with their supplier. Whatever happens, might get delayed. So that's, I guess, kind of a good reason I went with the 4-door, not necessarily a reason as to why I went with the 4-door, because in the long run, that's really not going to affect many people. On that list, I have the 2.7, the hardtop, and the Sasquatch package. So I went from 4 items on that list down to 3, but according to my representative at the dealer, I'm pretty high up on the list. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Bronco video. It was fun to get out and not just film it in the garage. That's kind of the worst part about filming Bronco videos, is that I don't like just talking in the garage, because I like to get out and have some fun, obviously. So this time I was able to switch up the environment a little bit, but I hope you found this video useful, enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share it to your friends and those who may enjoy it, of course. And of course, hit that subscribe button to keep up with all the action, with all the toys that we have on the channel. Bikes, cars, Bronco incoming, side-by-side. Gonna be starting that soon here, so we got some fun stuff. So if you're into motorsports, you're in the right place. So, with all that being said, join the club, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'ma blow up.